right, welcome and thank you for being here. And before I get started, I want to thank Fire Station Josh for letting us use the room today. And then some other thank yous, our clerk's department, which is Candy is our clerk. Many of you might know her from the elections. Tammy is our deputy clerk. She did some amazing things to get ready for this, including the cake and the cupcakes. Did you make those?
I did, yes.
And then we also had help from Deb in our office to make sure that the proclamations and plaques and everything were completed. If there's anything that's spelled wrong, let me know and we'll correct it, okay? But I think we got it right, but every time I say that, you know, we miss something. So appreciate you all being here, and it's not real formal, it's more of a celebration than anything. But I do want to recognize the people that are here. So we do have 3 different categories for Volunteers of the Year. We have the Volunteers of the Year, we have the Business of the Year, and then we have the Friend of Youth. And this year we had, as far as I know, a record number of nominees. And when I looked at them, everybody that was nominated has done some amazing things in our community. So I feel like everybody should be recognized for what they did. Without further ado, we'll start out. And the first one for Volunteer of the Year is John Lewis.
I'm moving a little slowly.
So I have a proclamation for each of the recipients and a plaque. And then if any of the nominees want to come up and speak about why they nominated an individual, please do so when we get to them. On John, apparently Bill is shy today. Is that true?
I'm always a little shy. Do you want me to come up?
Sure, come on up.
Come on up, talk about the seats.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So many of you might know Bill. He's our Opera House director, and he nominated John, and I'll let him tell you why. And here's your cheat sheet if you need it.
Well, I've got a script that I can read from slowly as John works his way to the front of the room. Are you coming to?
Come on up here. Come hang out with us.
Does anyone in the room know John from any of the context that he does stuff? Do you? John is, I have to tell the story. It's not in this script, but I am going to read this. It's beautiful. It was written by Victoria. Who's right back there. Victoria is the box office manager of the
Victoria.
Back in 2014, we had this crazy idea of doing the Catfish River Music Festival, you know, and it was going to be this outdoor event for the Opera House, and it really was not something that was getting done in Stoughton at the time. The trick was we were going to try to sell beer, which was a big thing, especially at the time. So back in 2014, we had to figure out, well, we're going to need a Friends Association to help us with that because we can't sell beer because we're the city and all that kind of stuff. So John is the person who stepped forward. I think Donna maybe prodded him. I can't remember. And actually formed just me. Actually formed
And a gun.
And a gun. But formed the Friends Association, which sort of got everything rolling and within this sort of like, box of SOFA, which is what it is. It's the Stoughton Opera House Friends Association. But the story is that Christina, who was the person at the Opera House with me at the time, we went out to the event, and we had never sold beer in an event before, so we didn't really anticipate that we would have so much cash. You know, it was just like tons of cash. So we didn't really know what to do. We didn't have time to count it, and it was really unexpected. And so we just like took some grocery bags and put the cash in the grocery bags. And Christina's like, well, where should we put it? And we were like looking around at like closets and stuff. And I was like, I have the perfect spot, but I'm not going to tell you. And so, so John comes into my office, which was in the public safety building at the time. And he's just like, how do we do, you know? And I was just like, and I reached underneath my desk and pulled out these huge grocery bags full of cash. And John's like head almost popped off, and he was just like, Bill, we're gonna get a bank account, you know? And so for all of the interesting adventures that we've had over at the Opera House with the lounge, which was a sofa project, and with Catfish, which was a sofa project, you know, it's a lot of times it seems like we're doing crazy stuff, but John's sort of been like the steady middle thing that keeps me from flying off the rails. And even when I feel like I'm going to lose my mind because we're too busy, John is the person who keeps me from losing my mind. So,
Because that was a shrink.
yeah, because he was a shrink, and that's why it's called SOFA. Let's see. Should I read what you wrote, Victoria?
If you'd like.
Do you guys have time? I'm going to read it. John Lewis has been instrumental in the growth and continued success of the Stoughton Opera House since joining the Opera House Board of Directors, forgot about that part, in 2012. He's been taking a greater interest in the operations and potential of the civic venue. In 2014, he was crucial to the formation of the Stoughton Opera House Friends Association, SOFA, and helped launch the annual Catfish River Music Festival. Through John's efforts, we have secured hundreds of thousands of dollars in grant funds for SOFA that have been turned into impactful capital improvement projects at the Opera House. I'm sure some of you have seen them. The sound system, the lighting equipment, kind of important for a music venue. The $50,000 beautiful grand piano that we got in 2019. The transformation of the first floor of the city Old City offices into the Ghostlight Lounge. If you haven't seen it, you know, come to a show and check it out. And more recently, John oversaw the tremendously successful Pad My Butt campaign that drew in over $100,000 with matching grants to upholster the seat bottoms of all of our seats.
Pad my butt.
And I'll tell you, at the beginning of every show, those seats get a huge round of applause. But despite the countless hours John has donated on behalf of the Opera House's caring and ceaseless support is the true engine behind the success. Always armed with a joke or timely anecdote, John makes it his duty to not only follow the progress being made, but to check on the staff's well-being and recognize the efforts that are being made by all. It's clear to everyone who knows him that John's influence will be felt for many years to come at the Opera House and in Stoughton as a whole. And in addition, John also serves on the Police and Fire Commission and the River and Trails Task Force. So I know there's a bunch of projects there. This could be a lot longer, so thanks for putting up with it. But John has been a huge help to us, so can we get another round of applause for John? I don't know what's happening next.
There's your plaque. I'll personally install it if you need help. And here's your proclamation. Thank
And
you
there's
very
a
much.
ribbon.
You betcha.
Big boss man.
Yeah, Dr. John, thank you. All right, next up is Steve Lyons. Steve was nominated by Ron Jake. You want to come up and say a few words?
Want me to sit first?
Whatever you want to do. Like I said, it's pretty casual around here. I don't know if you need a cheat sheet, but if you do, there it is. If not, you can wing it.
I nominated Steve Lyons. Many people in the community know who Steve is because he does lots of different things. His heart's in the right place with Stoughton. He's got a boatload of energy and a lot of skills to help get things done. And he was really instrumental in taking the Collins Field project from the starting point where it got launched to making sure that he kind of tied together the middle part, right? Getting all the other businesses involved, helping raise the funds, helping drive the project and keep it moving forward. And without Steve's tireless work on that project, it would have never been completed. So to me, he was an easy choice for somebody to nominate for this award. And I've known Steve. We were on the church council together, 15 years ago maybe or so. And you know, he just does lots for the Stoughton community. He's probably one of the community's biggest advocates. So thanks, Steve. Thanks for all you do.
proclamation, and I think you have kids that'll help you put the
Yeah,
plaque
we'll
up.
put them to work.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
This one big deal.
All right, next is Todd Fossum, my neighbor. And Todd was nominated by Kelly LaPointe, and she had some assistance from John and Darlene Arneson. Kelly's gonna do the speak. Come on over here. Is that a good place, right here? Is that working out? Anywhere, all right. Do you need notes, or are you gonna?
Yeah, and
wing it?
I'm gonna have a shaky voice, because that's just what I do.
Yeah, I'm the same way. That's why I like you guys to read this stuff.
All right, Todd has volunteered many hours throughout numerous businesses and nonprofit organizations. Personally, Todd has been a core volunteer for my management role in Stoughton. He takes on the entertainment tent charge, lining up beverage needs and bartenders, while putting in many hours over the festival weekend and always with a smile on his face. As a fellow lodge member, I often see Todd at different Sons of Norway events and meetings. Todd is co-sports director, chair of the Sons of Norway apparel sales, assumed leadership in the food prep and making, heads their volunteer signups for events, and behind all of the Lefse and Romagrat, Todd is there making it happen. Todd chairs the Stoughton Cube Club and the Cube Invitational, an annual tournament that brings teams in from around Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, and Minnesota. Active in his church community, Todd serves on church council and social ministry committee at First Lutheran Church, is a head griller for all church events, and built the church grill as a confirmation mentor project. See, got it going. In addition to his volunteer time with Stoughton, Sons of Norway, and First Lutheran Church, Todd has served and still serves many of these as Stoughton High School Education Advisory Committee member, Stoughton Tree Commission member, Stoughton Sports Booster Club president, Southern Lutheran Dartball president, Stoughton Cube Club president, Thrive It member, Habitat for Humanity, and many numerous events.
My goodness.
Right? Todd has been instrumental in many events, gatherings, and happenings that make Stoughton special, humble, kind, and hardworking. Todd is an exceptional choice for the 2023 City of Stoughton Volunteer of the Year Award, and this was all written in partnership with John and Darlene Arneson. Congrats.
There you go.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, next is Mike Point. And Mike was nominated by the Stoughton Library. And then we also have somebody here from the Senior Center, and I know Mike has done work at the Senior Center as well. So who wants to start out?
I'll start off. So it was my name is Jim Ramsey. I'm the library director. It was one of our staff who nominated Mike. He's done so many projects with us at the library over the years. He first came to my attention because he got roped into this project for building a giant blue phone booth for one of our Eagle Scouts. If you've ever been to the library, you've seen, it's called a TARDIS. It's from the show Doctor Who. I don't know if any fans in the room. Anyway, it was an Eagle Scout project to build this thing, and getting it from conception and idea into actually being built. Mike was instrumental in that. And over the years, he's helped us in we have a monthly craft club program that meets. Mike has fabricated various wooden things. I think they had you making bee houses at one point. Yeah. And then we have a project that we're doing now to build kind of a canopy over a tree-like structure over our children's service desk at the library, and Mike has been instrumental with that. But that's not the main attraction. The main volunteer form that Mike's volunteerism has taken over the years is running the wood shop at the senior center. And so,
Yes.
Holly?
Yes, we're so grateful for Mike. He not only comes and he trains all of the volunteers, he's here on a daily basis at the senior center, trains, I'm saying the volunteers, he also trains all the newcomers to our wood shop. He keeps the wood shop nice and clean and organized. He's constantly there to lend a hand. He's a meticulous woodworker and an electronic whiz. If there's any appliance that needs looking at, I always go to him first. He usually can figure that out real quick. So we're so grateful that he chooses to come to the senior center to share his time and his talents. So thank you, Mike.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Congrats.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, next item up is Business Person of the Year. And we have two in that category. And the first one is Bob Walling. Bob was nominated by
Thank you. All right. Well, I nominated Bob for a number of reasons. First and foremost is, we talked about the Collins Field project, right? That was Bob's idea. He created that idea. It was his from the get-go. He kickstarted the donation that really got the project rolling, and a big donation at the end just to make sure that it was going to get completed and done. So over $600,000 donated by Stoughton Trailers for that particular project. A couple other things thinking about is just the purchase of the land where we hope to build our new headquarters. Another piece of the commitment to the community that we have, and the fact that the company is doing really, really well. We're on a big growth curve. We added in 2022 323 jobs to Stoughton, to our facilities here. So things are going great. I think he's very deserving of the award, just given his leadership and how he feels about the community and just doing right by Stoughton. So that's it.
All right, and our second nominee for Business of the Year was Keith Anderson. And Keith is represented by Rob and Fauna today. Who's speaking?
Just Rob.
I thought you did all the talking. Yeah. Obviously, Keith's not here. He's out in Virginia, isn't he?
He is. Unfortunately, Keith could not be here today. He had a little setback in life where he could not make the trip today. Again, Keith is very honored to be recognized by the city of Stoughton, along with Eldon Homes. It's been pretty phenomenal, the relationship and the opportunities we've had in the last year and a half. Actually, we're going into our second year of business. We are blessed. My wife, Fauna, a lot of you folks probably know her from around the community. We had the opportunity to team up with Keith and Tammy Anderson and create Eldon Homes seemingly overnight. In our second year, we are on track to be Dane County's third largest builder. So we're really excited to have the opportunity to work cohesively with the city, with all the business owners, to help develop school enrollment, everything that we all talked about 2 years ago. To be able to be part of it, it's pretty awesome to have this long-standing relationship. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. All right, and then the last category is Friend of Youth. And I always do that last. It's special to me because I was an awardee in 2004 by Helen Johnson. The first nominee was Yoli-Beth Randall Fitzgibbon, and Yoli-Beth wasn't able to attend today. She had a work commitment, and she had been nominated by Kathleen Hoppy. Is Kathleen here? So I'll just go through this one quick and make sure that Yoli-Beth gets everything. Kathleen wrote, Yoli-Beth is a force to be reckoned with. She is tireless in her efforts to help Stoughton with integration, event planning, and now the birth of an after-school program in Bayview Heights. Kathleen served on the school board with Yoli, and she said she really loves what she believes to be right and help Stoughton, and that she admires and respects the work that Yoli has done in the community. So another deserving recipient. All right, the next one is Bill Brew. And Bill was nominated by Tony King. Tony works for the city in our recreation department. And I don't know if he's here gonna tell any stories about Bill, but there's plenty of them I hear.
Yeah, so I'm Tony. I'm from the rec department. I've known Bill since I started here in 2019. He kind of informed me about the main thing that I worked with him with was our ski club here in Stoughton, which he created 30 years ago? 40 years ago. 40 years ago. And so he kind of informed me how this all works. And the program has been amazing ever since I've been here. What a great program for kids. And then what I found was interesting was chaperones were always lining up for this trip. And they'd say, oh, is Mr. Brew running it? I'm like, yep. They're like, great, I was in it with him when I was in middle school, high school. So that was always cool to hear, and he would know all, I don't know how many kids you probably worked with over the years, but thousands of kids. Very cool. And I kind of noticed around town that Bill kind of does all kinds of stuff. I would have meetings with him randomly, and he'd say, oh, well, meet me over at Sons of Norway. And I said, okay, sure. So I went over to go meet him at the meeting, and he's painting the entire place. He's up 30 feet, painting the building. I'm like, what does this guy do? Then I'm looking for training at our Troll Beach for our staff, our lifeguards and stuff on EMS stuff. I said, oh, I can do that. I'm on the EMS here in Stoughton. This guy's everywhere. He came down, trains our staff. He's been doing that for years, and really been a great part for me to help me out here, but also for this entire community. Been a great piece for this community, and I really thank you for everything you've done for the youth.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. I was going to mention, I hurt my neck recently. I figure you can readjust me or something.
My cousin is a chiropractor.
Oh, see, I had a feeling.
Go to Arizona.
Oh, yeah. All right, and last but not least is Natalie Norland. And Natalie was nominated by Kelly LaPointe, and she had some support from Aaron.
All right, are we
Oh,
ready
you
for
did?
that?
Good story.
I got a lot to read here. I would like to formally nominate Natalie Norland for the 2023 City of Stoughton Friend of Youth Award. Natalie is the director of Stoughton Center for the Arts here in Stoughton. Through her studio, Natalie is instrumental in the education of arts for 238 area youth, including surrounding communities such as McFarland, Oregon, and more. Disciplines taught at Stoughton Center for the Arts include a myriad of dance, art, vocal, instrumental, and theater. Art education helps youth in social skills, decision-making, and inventiveness. The support that Natalie provides all the students at the studio is empowering, self-motivation, and creating the drive for the students to be the best person they can be. There have been countless studies, particularly post-pandemic, that make correlations between art education and positive mental wellness outcomes. This research highlights how skills like empathy, self-awareness, and self-management contribute to enhancing mental wellness. Natalie prioritizes these outcomes over awards and competitions, which is why her impact on her students is so remarkable. Natalie is consistently looking for ways to connect the work with her students to do at the Stoughton Center for the Arts with the work they do in our community and beyond. This year, Stoughton will have its first graduating member of the National Honor Society of Dance Arts. This honor society requires excellence in an art education, academic excellence, and community service and leadership. Providing mentorship and instruction is just one tier. The support that Natalie provides the students to get on stage and share their passion and love of the arts with the community of Stoughton is unmatched. Productions that Natalie is part of include, but not limited to, the Stoughton Center for the Arts holiday shows, Holiday Showcase and Spring Showcase, Aligning Stars Theater Productions, Madrigal Dinner, Stoughton High School Productions, and many more. Natalie's support of the youth carries over to the Stoughton Arts Guild, which offers tuition assistance so that no child has financial barriers from studying the arts. Tuition assistance takes many forms of Stoughton Art Guild, which is a 501c3 organization run by Norland with the help of a 7-person board of directors. The Guild provides monthly fundraising opportunities to participate and offset their tuition. In addition to the fundraisers, the Guild provides annual scholarships to students that apply. Natalie radiates greatness to all that know her. Her energy and drive to empower the youth in her community simply passes on those that work with her and witness the products that come out of the studio. She's creating more than better students, and she's creating a better community. A professional in any setting. Breathe. Professional in any setting, Natalie is more than proud to represent Stoughton Center of the Arts wherever she goes. This leadership and mentorship for the Stoughton community youth is why Natalie Norland is an exceptional recipient for this award. Support and nomination Nomination with support from Aaron of the Treaty Bastion.
Yeah, next time you won't write it.
No.
Again for bringing me in.
All right, so big round of applause for everybody.